All right. So we didn't do this on purpose. This isn't a race thing where the white guy talks about hockey, the black guy talks about basketball, but that's just how it kind of works in our show.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he pays more attention to basketball. I pay a little bit more attention to hockey.
So that's just kind of the way it goes. I pay attention to hockey, but, there's not enough to go ahead and so I let Bobby Blue Line deal with all that.
Yeah, come on, tell me what's going on.
All right. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to get this thing started for you here. We had the NHL playoffs are ramping up. The NBA playoffs are ramping up. Cardinals baseball here for us here in St. Louis is getting good. It's pretty exciting. The NL Central has actually been a pretty good division.
The only division with every team over 500.
Every team is over 500. So it's an outstanding division so far. Outstanding baseball we got to see, like exciting baseball. NFL draft just wrapped up, so we'll touch on some of that today. How you doing, Bobby Light?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to put together a little bet right now.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. Well, while you getting that started here, I'll kind of dive into what's something going on in some of this Cardinals action here. So right now, currently they're in third place at 16-13. Yep. Half a game lead up on the Pirates, and the Reds are like 19-10 right now in first place.
The Reds are actually playing really good ball.
Yeah, their pitching is outstanding. Their pitching is absolutely outstanding, which you need if one of your home games is in that bandbox of a ballpark that they play in. So Jordan Walker is the team leader right now in home runs and batting average. Batting average, he's leading at 283 home runs. He has 8. Alec Burleson is leading in RBIs with 20.
And doubles as well. He's got 8 doubles.
Yes, 8 doubles. Yes, he's in the extra base hits there. J.J. Weatherhold, who has been outstanding so far as a rookie, he's one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year going forward in the season.
Definitely
playing outstanding second base right now. They got him. I guess he's projected to do this 8-year, 100 and what is it?
I seen 135.
Yeah, 135. 8-year, 135 extension is what they're projected to kind of sign him on to, which is what kind of smart move if you got one of these like prime A prospects right now, because like the last 19-year-old was Juan Soto. They ended up going to free agency and he ended up making like $400-something million.
Yeah, almost $500 million.
Yeah, $500 million. So like if you got one of those guys that's 18, 19, 20 years old, because like the Pirates did the same thing with their that young shortstop that they have.
Well, shit, even when Bryce Harper came up on free agency the last time, like with the Phillies, he got that 13-year deal with almost $500 million.
Yeah, $500 million. Right, exactly. So right now, if you can shore these guys up early, you make them multimillionaires and pretty much set for life at an early age, and they still got another contract coming up, but you don't have to pay them that, and you still get that 8 years of service out of them. So it's kind of a smart move by the organizations doing it that way. Weatherhold has actually scored 25 runs, 6 home runs. He's at a 368 on base percentage, so I mean, which is second on the team right now. So I mean, he's
right behind Herrera.
Yes, right behind Herrera. So he's looking outstanding.
The other night when I said that statistic, but he had 18 walks through 18 games, and he only took 1 walk for the next 7 games.
I know.
He's taken 4 in the last 2.
Oh, yeah. And both of him and Weatherhold have been hit I think Herrera's been hit like 8 or 9 times this year, and JJ Weatherhold's been hit like 7. So, but for a leadoff hitter, Weatherhold's coming through because I mean you want to have that good on base percentage. He's scoring a lot of runs.
He's got pop too. 6 home runs.
That's fantastic. You know who else has pop is Nathan Church. Nathan Church, he's been a pleasant surprise. He has 5 home runs. He's been playing some outstanding defense.
I had never heard of that dude.
Yeah, I hadn't heard it either. I mean, I was kind of like, okay.
I know he made a call up last year at the very end of the year.
Yeah,
he had a couple at bats.
He's looked outstanding so far. He had the 2 home run game that they ended up losing against who are they playing on the weekend? The
Mariners.
The Mariners. They got swept by the Mariners, but he had an outstanding series against them. He had 3 home runs in that series. He's played outstanding ball. He's playing great defense. Robbed a home run actually in that series. Michael McGreevy, he's been the best pitcher by statistically so far. I mean, he's got the lowest ERA at 2.78. Or 2.9.
He's given us the most innings.
Yes.
His strikeouts aren't good. Strikeouts to walks aren't great. Actually, before these last couple of starts, they said metrically, even though he was getting results, he had been the worst pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he
if you went off them ridiculous metrics,
when you go stat crazy, but as far as ERA wise, I mean, maybe that's good defense been playing behind him. But I've watched his last couple outings. Been pretty solid.
I would say he's probably been our best starting pitcher.
Yeah, Matthew Liberatore is probably close second there. I mean, Dustin May, he's leading the team in wins, but he's probably gotten the best run support out of all the starters so far. Kyle Leahy, been so here or there going forth, but the pitching's going to be kind of hit or miss. Ryan O'Brien has been great as a closer so far. There's been kind of nice gem. 31-year-old has kind of seemed to find
and
his
again,
way.
he's actually tied with May and Leahy because they all three have 3 wins.
Right, exactly. So I mean, he's.
But that's bad when your closer's got 3 wins.
Well, that's just something they're playing also comeback baseball.
That's a
comeback baseball, which you always like to see.
But that can't last forever.
No, it can't. But ride it while we can. And J.J. Romero has also been solid out of the bullpen coming in as your lefty specialist. So, I mean, they got some good things to hang their head off on to start the season off.
They do. I've been pleasantly surprised with this team.
And then fielding wise, they're by far like one of the top fielding teams in the major leagues right now. So.
Well, that's the thing about Weatherholt too. As far as second baseman, at least up until a couple of games ago, because I haven't looked. But he was leading the major leagues in defensive WAR at second base.
Oh, yeah. He's at 1.1 WAR right now. Wins above replacement, for those of you that don't know that. So, I mean, that's Cardinals, the ballpark's starting to fill back up again. Kind of getting that energy back with the young team. Ali Marmol's not looking like such a dumbass as a coach anymore. So.
I don't know. I just don't know that I'm ever going to like Marmol.
You know what? I think he manages the bullpen well. The players respond to him. I think they got a good things going right. After hearing why they went away from Mark Schilt, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Mike Schilt, because he's since been fired by San Diego.
Yeah, because apparently he's kind of hard to deal with in the workplace. He's got a very much of malcontent as far as if you're not doing it his way, and it got that whole deal.
Right.
And I mean, and then sometimes that works for a manager, but you got to have a little bit more tenure than.
Yeah, you got to have a little more cachet, because that's how La Russa was too. But this is a guy.
But La Russa had a long track record,
and World Series.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Schilt didn't get his first manager position until he was 60 years old. Damn near. So I mean, you can't really come in being this hard ass, especially in this new day and age type of thing, where you got to kind of tell the kids why and how you're doing.
Yeah, especially that San Diego team full of a lot of
big paid superstars.
Yeah, a lot of paid superstars. Right. I mean, you're obviously in California, so there's that whole
that whole dynamic too as well. So. Yep, so that's what we got to go Cards, baby. Let's go Cards.
Yeah, I mean, if they pick up a win tonight and kick off 17-3, if you extrapolate that out over the season, it just times it by 5 because you played 30. That puts you at 85 and 65. Even if you split those last 12, you're looking at a 90-win team.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, I mean, they're going to probably crush it over under a 65.5.
Yes, I think they're going to smash it.
They're going to crush that, so that's awesome. So let's go Cards and keep that thing going.
Yes, sir.
Get out to that ballpark there, baby. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the hockey playoffs here, Bobby.
All right, we'll start on the West, or in the Western Conference. Colorado, obviously, they did not demolish the Kings. The Kings played every game tight, but the thing was the Kings only scored 5 goals in those 4 games. So, and only 2 of them came 5-on-5. And in playoffs, you've got to be able to score 5-on-5.
Well, that's what they said. I think Colorado was like number 1 in 5-on-5 offense and defense. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much the Kings.
I mean, they made them work for all 4 of those wins, but obviously Colorado is going to come up against the winner of this Wild and Dallas series, and the Wild are up 3-2 in that one.
Yeah.
With a chance to clinch at home. And I said whoever wins that series is going to personally, I think whoever wins the Dallas-Minnesota series will be the Western Conference finalist. And with man, that is a hell of a series. Have you watched any of it?
I haven't got to catch much of it, man. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's real playoff hockey going on right there.
I mean, I guess I've seen some of the highlights, some of the clips of them going back and forth. I mean, it's been tough, but it's hard for me when the Blues aren't in it to kind of pay attention to
it. It is. The biggest surprise, I would say so far, because you've got Anaheim up 3-2 on Edmonton right now. Anaheim could have closed out last night, but they didn't.
Draisaitl had a hell of a game.
He did. He scored 2 goals. But Anaheim also has the chance to go ahead and tie this one up in Edmonton in Game 6. Or, I mean, take care of the series in Game 6. And that's the thing. With Joel Quenneville coming on as Anaheim's head coach, this team is going to be strong for the next 5 years.
I can't stand those orange fucking uniforms.
Oh, they're disgusting.
They are the worst thing I think I've ever seen. When I turned that on, I saw that, and I was like, what is this going on?
They are ugly. Any combination that the Ducks... I've always hated the Anaheim Ducks jerseys. Even the original stupid one
Some of the earlier ones were okay. I mean, when they had the dumb duck with the dumb duck bill, but the second
hockey mask.
Yeah, but when the second rendition wasn't bad. But this orange shit, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, please.
So the Ducks should be able to close. I mean, they've got 2 games to do it, but it is against an Edmonton team that's been battle tested the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility Edmonton gets that one done. But I would lean Anaheim at this point.
Yeah, I would.
And the other series is 2-2 Vegas and the Mammoth. I really don't know what's going on in that series. Nobody really seems to want to run away.
You know, it's like I said, the Mammoth, up and coming franchise right now. Vegas, who's a recent up and coming franchise. So I mean,
this is Vegas's last gasp right here, because they're going to have to make some serious changes.
I mean, they got a cup out, and Pietrangelo got a cup out of it, but it makes the Blues look smart to understand now why even more they kind of
because he ended up missing the whole season.
Yeah, so. I mean, is he going to be able to come back? I mean, that back issue with somebody who's 6'6", I mean, that's tough to deal with.
Well, that's the thing about Vegas too. Like they've traded away all their prospects and draft picks and all that to win now, which is fine, and they bought in. That fan base has bought in. They got their cup. They went to a finals in their first season. Like, they've done everything right, but it's going to get rough.
They're probably have to have some lean years for a little bit though. But hey, at least like you said, they built the culture there.
They did.
Fan base. So you might see some guys like Stoner and maybe even Jackie Aces get traded at some point, because I mean they're going to have to reshuffle that lineup and like move some money out. And, because you just can't keep throwing money at it. Because we've seen that here. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the East, you have the Carolina Hurricanes just dismantled the Ottawa Senators, except for like Game 2 where they went to the double overtime, I believe.
What did I say? What is this? Is it the 6th year in a row that they made it to this stage of the playoffs?
Oh yeah. I mean, Carolina is Rod Brindamore is a hell of a coach. Mm-hmm. There is no doubt about that.
Carolina in St. Louis.
They just cannot seem to find that gear in that conference final.
Once they get to that conference final, it always seems the wheels fall off.
We'll see who they play. They'll end up playing. I don't remember how it stands out right now.
We got the Penguins that are in the do-or-die game tonight against the Flyers.
Yeah.
And then...
the Flyers are up 3-2 in that series, and that game is tonight.
Tampa Bay and Montreal.
They are 2-2. Yeah, that series is 2-2. And Montreal's a young, hungry team, and Tampa Bay is definitely... This is their last
they're a veteran bunch, so I kind of see them pulling this series out on their side.
And the other one is... Hold on, I am blanking right now... Oh, Buffalo and Boston.
Yeah, that's right.
Boston won in overtime last night to keep them in that series.
That was a beautiful goal by Pasternak too.
Buffalo's up 3-2. I expect Buffalo's just got too much firepower, as you've seen in Game 4. I mean, they dog walked them. If Boston, I mean, Swayman's really going to have to play his ass off.
That's how they won that game last night. I mean, because Buffalo scored early, and then Swayman just stood on his head.
Swayman shut him down.
Yeah, Swayman stood on his head after that. I gotta love the little Buffalo fucking Blade boys that show up to the hockey game now. You see them like 4 or 5 of them dudes have shown up in rollerblades.
It is funny. Funny.
That's classic Buffalo right there. Classic Buffalo.
So, that's the Hockeys. I mean, we haven't even made it out of round 1 yet. There's been some excellent games. There's been some bad ones, but there's mostly excellent.
All right. So we didn't do this on purpose. This isn't a race thing where the white guy talks about hockey, the black guy talks about basketball, but that's just how it kind of works in our show.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he pays more attention to basketball. I pay a little bit more attention to hockey.
So that's just kind of the way it goes. I pay attention to hockey, but, there's not enough to go ahead and I let Bobby Blue Line deal with all that.
Come on, tell me what's going on.
All right. So we got the Magic and the Pistons right now. So we got the 8-seed Magic who are going against the 1-seed Pistons.
Is that 2-2?
It's 3-1 right now. The Magic are 3-1.
Wow.
Yes, the Pistons been struggling. Cade Cunningham has had a tough series. He's had a crap ton of turnovers. Their big man has also been struggling a lot. He really hasn't come through, but a lot of his points aren't really like during the course of the regular season. Haven't been where they run plays for him. He's like a guy that kind of grabs boards and put backs after the fact, that type of thing. So during a playoff matchup, it's just a little bit different because they're kind of focusing on you where you're not playing different teams from night to night.
And nobody's stepping up.
Right, exactly. So as I said, Caden Cunningham having the turnovers he's had has been kind of an issue there. Pablo Banchero has had an amazing series. The one thing that's going to hurt them is Franz Wagner, who has been probably the best player in this series, or the forward for the Orlando Magic. He's actually out tonight.
Oh, he's out tonight.
So I like the Pistons actually get a chance to get this
That's
game
probably why the Pistons are so heavily favored right now. Then.
Yeah, the Pistons are favored by 10.5 right now because, I mean, Pablo Franz Wagner is out of the series here.
Okay.
Or out for tonight's game. At least he has an ankle injury, and we've seen this happen already with several players, right? Going in playing on these ankle injuries that usually leads to like potential Achilles tears and so on from there. So in this game, I actually like the Pistons to cover the 10.5 points. because I think I think they're going to actually win this game and make it go 3-2. I like the over/under is at 211.5.
Okay.
211.5. I like the under on this game. I can see these both teams are very defensive heavy teams there, so I like.
So you like the under in the Pistons?
Yeah, I like the Pistons to go ahead and send us to a game 6.
I like that.
All right. All right, the next up, we got the Raptors at the Cavs. So this series is tied at 2-2. This has been a back-and-forth series here. You got the very guard-heavy Cavs with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. They've been given the fits in the backcourt, but the Raptors have been playing scrappy this whole series, too, as well, banging on the boards, getting a lot of second-chance shots, and they've been knocking out clutch threes in times in the games they've won.
Now, in the NBA, do they do the 2-3-2?
No, not in the first round. Not in the first round. Okay. The first round it goes 2-2, 1-1-1. Yep, yeah, that's how they do it in the first round.
But then after that, it goes
in the finals.
2-3-2.
That's in the finals.
Just in the finals.
Just in the finals. Just in the finals when they do that. Unless they change that in recent history.
Well, see, I thought the first round used to be a 5-game series.
It did. Years ago, it was a 5-game series. Yeah, they bumped that out and they made it a 7-game because the NBA, of course, more money. The more playoff money, the more more playoff games, the more playoff money.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, so I like the Raptors to cover this 9.5 points. I think the Cavs will still get the win to take a 3-2 lead at home tonight, but I think the Raptors to cover the 9.5 points. I like the over as 218.5 on that. I like the over on that one right there. And then next up, we got the Rockets at the Lakers for the late night game. Rockets at the Lakers.
Dwight Howard's going to be out.
No, Kevin Durant.
Or Kevin Durant, I'm sorry, not Dwight Howard.
See, that's why I talk about
it. Wrong big black guy.
But then Austin Reeves is coming back, though. Austin Reeves is coming back, too, as well. But, yeah, Kevin Durant is going to be out again. LeBron, I think, kind of took that last game. They're up. The Lakers up 3-1.
Yeah, he only scored 2 field goals. So.
Yeah, but they were up 3-0. So I think they knew Austin Reeves was coming back. So LeBron was probably like, I'm going to chill in this game here and kind of get back into action. And they kind of go forward from there. I like the over at 208.5. I like the Lakers to cover the 4.5 points there in this game, and then to wrap up the series here because Houston's kind of dead men walking at this stage. They really show no life. Kevin Durant's beat up. He had a deep bone bruise in his ankle and a knee and all that type of stuff. And so when you're 7 foot tall, it's hard to get around when you got those type of ailments going on.
Yeah.
All right, so then next up we got tomorrow night, because by the time we probably get this posted, we'll be on a tomorrow night series. We got the Knicks at the Hawks. This has been a good back and forth series. The series is tied 2-2 right now.
Oh, the Knicks dominated them last night.
Yeah, they dominated them last night. I like the Knicks to go ahead. I like the Hawks. I'm sorry, the Knicks are up 3-2.
Yeah,
Knicks are up 3-2. I like the Hawks to actually get this game tonight, though.
Really? And take it to Game 7,
yes.
huh?
Game 7 in the Madison Garden.
Yeah.
I've watched enough NBA basketball to know how this shit goes, man.
Like you guys got to lose tonight.
So the money line for the Hawks. So this might be my bet of the night. The money line for the Hawks is at plus 110. That shows you that Vegas really likes their odds to go in and win this game because it's at home right now.
That is true.
Yeah, so I like that plus 110. I like the under for it being a tough defensive matchup at 213.5. And so I think we're going to have a Game 7 in the Madison Square Garden. I think the Knicks will eventually pull it out. But I like the Hawks to go ahead and send us a Game 7 here. The Knicks are 2.5 point favorites. Next up, I got the Celtics. They got kind of waxed the other night by the 76ers. They're 5.5 point favorites here. They shot like shit the other night. I don't see that happening again. It doesn't happen very often against for the Celtics. I like the over.
And Embiid actually showed up.
Yeah, Embiid showed up. We'll see if he has back problems or rolls an ankle or do what Embiid does. So it's 215.5 is the over on that. I like the over. And I like the Celtics to cover the 5.5 and wrap this series up here.
Really? You got 215.5, huh?
Yeah, 215.5.
I got 212.
212. That might have just dropped, but that was earlier in the day. It was 215.5. Actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I read my chicken scratch. It is 212.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 212.5. But either way, I like the over. All right. Then next
that just means the lines aren't moving that much.
Yeah. Nope. Not at all. All right, then next up, I like the Nuggets over the T-Wolves. Give me the Nuggets to cover that. The T-Wolves it sucks for them. They just kind of got devastated. They're actually up in this series right now. I think it's 3-2.
Right.
But because Jokic actually dominated this last game.
He did.
But again, Anthony Edwards is out. DiVincenzo, he tore his Achilles. And Edwards is going to be out the rest of the series. I kind of feel like the Nuggets pretty much are going to.
Yeah, that one hurt me the other night because I had Edwards and I hit the parlay, but he got exited early.
Yeah,
they still pay it out.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So you didn't get the full.
Yeah, it cost me a few bucks.
Yeah, they didn't get the full
one.
pay. So yes, that sucks for them. Like I said, the Nuggets are 5.5 point favorites. I like them to cover. I like the over to hit at 224.5. Just because I feel like the Nuggets are going to probably light the scoreboard up and even this series up to kind of get us going to a Game 7. All right. So here's my parlay, my smoking token hot parlay for this week here. I Pablo Banchero for over 20 points in tonight's game. I like Andre Vasilevsky to have 21 over 21 and a half saves.
Okay.
I like James Harden to hit 3 3-pointers plus. I need Sidney Crosby with 3 plus shots on goal. LeBron James 8 rebounds, and then Jack Eichel for 3 shots. Jack Eichel with 3 shots there. That's at plus 29.25.
Oh, there we go.
Plus 29.25. So it's exciting action going on here for the NBA NHL combo playoff selection by the Jason Smoking Hot Parlays.
I like it.
All right. So I guess we're going to recap here. We're going to go kind of touch on the draft a little bit. I think everybody was kind of happy with the draft for the most part. I was kind of happy with my mock. I'm not going to go down through every pick of what I got right, what I got wrong, but I did get the first 2 picks right for sure. And with getting David Bailey at the second, everybody knew Fernando Mendoza was going to go ahead. I'm going to go first. I like Sonny Styles went 7th to the Commanders, like I kind of projected in my mock. Spencer Fano, he went 9. He went to the Browns instead of the Chiefs because those teams swapped picks.
Because they swapped picks.
Yeah, the Chiefs traded up. We got Mansour Delane, and then Mansour Delane didn't end up going to the Bengals because the Bengals ended up going to Francis Mayoga. The tackle, yes, which was actually a good pick. Yeah, which was a good pick for them. Which I actually have the Cowboys traded up, got Caleb Downs. Like I said, I had them projected to get Caleb Downs at 12, but hey, they got him anyway there. And so instead of the Dolphins getting Mekhi Lemon, they picked up Caden Proctor, the shock of the draft. But most people said this was inside information. It was the Rams getting Ty Simpson at 13, which I understand. Right now, they weren't a team that had a whole lot of needs. So draft a quarterback when you don't need a quarterback. Give them a year or 2 to develop, sit behind there, and not have to rush in. And
I don't care if they needed it or not. The social media stuff has been hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were going to get killed regardless of that. I mean, they were going to get killed. Another big pick was Kenyon Sadiq, one of my favorite players. So these teams actually swapped and did the absolute opposite.
Right.
So I had Kenyon Sadiq going to the Ravens. They actually took Vega the Ione, and then who's that? The Jets actually
ended up taking Sadiq.
Took Sadiq. So those teams actually swapped the picks on the order of what I had. Jermon McCoy did not get drafted. Ruben Bain went that path. Jermon McCoy actually fell way back until I want to say the third or fourth,
wow.
Yeah, late in the 3rd round. A lot of injury concerns there, so it's kind of hard to rate and draft him as a corner that high up. Next up here, I think the next one I got right was Monroe Freeland to the Panthers. So Monroe Freeland went to the Panthers, and we had a controversial situation with Mekhi Lemon had traded up and got in front of the Steelers because they were going to draft Lemon, and the Eagles went drafted him, which means it's probably writing on the wall.
Now, there was somebody saying that was a smokescreen, that Pittsburgh was never going to draft Mekhi Lemon.
Oh, they were going to draft. They were on the phone with him. Yeah, they literally got him on the phone, and we're going to plan on drafting him.
They said, fuck that, we're going to trade up above him.
Oh, yeah. So they came in and snaked him late there, but that shows right there that the Eagles are pretty much dead set that A.J. Brown's
gone.
Yeah, which, speaking of the Patriots, shout out, Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. Good luck to you and your families. Good luck to you.
Yeah, it keeps getting worse, doesn't it?
Oh, my God. We getting playlists coming out now that she wrote and made to Mike. Her first son's name is Michael, and they might be talking about that might be her love child. It says, oh, my God.
Yeah, and the photos were like 6 months before she married her now husband.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
It's a bad look, for sure.
It's a bad look. Yeah, so, I mean, for the most part, I think the last one that I got absolutely right was I had Jadarian Price going to the Seahawks.
You did say that. You said the Seahawks would take the second Notre Dame running back.
I mean, they had to. I mean, you lose Kenneth Walker,
and you got Charbonnet coming off.
Yeah, coming off the injury, so they pretty much had to do that. But I mean, I think it was a good draft overall. Most teams were happy with their draft. As far as how everything transpired. I mean, a lot of people got some good value in the second round of those draft picks there. So.
The only F grade that I seen that's sticking in my head is they gave the Jaguars a big old fat F on their draft.
That's just why I would never grade a draft because you have no clue what's going on when it comes down to
that is very true.
I mean, I understand this is their job and they have to do this to provide for entertainment purposes and information purposes, but like the year they showed, like the Seahawks got an F grade on the draft. The year that they drafted Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin, Russell Wilson, and then there was somebody else like Swayze who was like it became like an special. Like, I mean, they had like 5 players that would help them win that Super Bowl.
Pro Bowlers, Super Bowlers.
Help them win the Super Bowl. Went to Pro Bowls. Became All Pro. So I mean, again, you got to take those grades with a grain of salt because you got to think like these people that are like doing these draft picks. they're on the road. They're in the gyms. They're doing scouting. Where these the media people like that are putting their grades and their mock drafts. They're not looking at these players the same way as everybody else is looking at them, man. So they just have a lot more information to go off of. But draft season is over now. We got a few big free agents out there still. Juwan Jennings, one of the top ones out there. Stephon Diggs. You still got to see what's going to happen with Tyreek Hill as far as how healthy he's going to be coming back. You got an old Bobby Wagner that's still out there. I mean, there's some players to got out there still. So I mean, there's a movement to be made. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys do with George Pickens. Because the George Pickens action is going to be kind of tough to get with.
Man, if he's smart, and I would think just play for the damn $20 million. It's not like you got.
It's 27.
27 million. Do you really think that you can get traded and sign a better offer somewhere?
Yes, because that's the only way any other team will do it. That's the only other thing because what has to happen now at this point is that he has to sign the free agency tender, and then the Cowboys get the value for the free agency tender. Okay. That they go ahead and that he signs the franchise tender. I mean, they have to get the value of that. The other team has to also agree with David Mulligeta, who's his agent, who's the one who got that first $230 million fully guaranteed deal for Deshaun Watson. No. He's a dog as an agent, so
obviously.
So you got again. So I mean, he's going to get his money some way somehow. I understand his plight is because he's he's worried about if he gets injured. Is he going to miss out on that $40 million a year that these big name receivers?
You think somebody will give him $40 million a year though?
Man, when you go back and look at that tape last year, man.
Oh, he balled out. There's no doubt about it.
When you go back and look at that tape last year, he had a monster season. I mean, a monster.
I'd have to go back and look at what he did when CeeDee Lamb was not on the field.
He was going crazy.
Okay, I'll have to go back and look. At those
he was
4
going
games,
crazy. That's what started him going really crazy. Him and Dak started getting that chemistry going, like because CD went out for that concussion that one game. And
he missed 4 games.
Yeah, he went nuts. He went nuts. So we'll see what happens, man. But I mean, I can see him playing with the Cowboys under the franchise tender and them coming to an agreement. But I can also see him getting moved. I can see that happening where they go and say, you know what, if we can get X, Y, and Z value for George Pickens, and we go ahead and we move on.
Do you have to have a receiver coming back to you if you're Dallas? Even if it's a second tier?
No, especially not when you got the free agents that are out there right now. I mean, you got guys out there I would love to have Juwan Jennings.
Right.
I would love to have CeeDee Lamb and Juwan Jennings paired up together.
Yeah, no, that would be
I would love to have CeeDee Lamb and Stephon Diggs paired together.
I mean, Juwan Jennings, actually, he's a touchdown machine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had 9 touchdowns last year. So, I mean, I would love to see Stephon. Hell, even if they, I would, as a last resort, even if they brought in Keenan Allen. Even if they brought in Keenan, not to say that's what you'd want to have happen.
I get it.
But I'm just saying, he's a solid pro.
Right.
He's a solid pro that's going to get you first downs. CD be your big play guy, and you got Keenan Allen to be your sure-handed guy who's going to be a savvy vet that can get you first downs and move the sticks.
That's true.
That's really all you need at that point because you still got Kevontae Turbin coming out of the slot, who's an explosive player.
Didn't they drafted somebody in like the 5th round too? Didn't they?
I believe so.
I didn't draft a wide receiver. In the 5th round.
I told myself I wasn't going to go through the Cowboys full draft. I wasn't going to do that. I mean, but I was very happy with their draft. A lot of the experts
for sure.
They got was it Malachi Lawrence? They had a defense man out of Central
number 23.
Florida. Yeah, so they got him there. So I like what the Cowboys did in the draft.
I like it.
Very much so.
So I got one bet tonight. I'm going 2+ shots on 10 different players. So we're going Kucherov, Hagel, Caulfield, Jake Gutzel, Crosby, Zegras, Tippett, Rackle, Malkin, and Eichel. All 2+ shots. I only need 2 shots out of all 10.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? What is that?
Plus 575.
Oh, that's solid numbers right there. So that's a solid juice.
Yeah, I had to keep tacking them on to get it.
That's where you usually get in trouble. That's usually where you get in trouble.
We'll just add one more.
Next thing you know, somebody gets banged against the boards and leaves the game or some shit.
That's the thing. So I know in basketball, I've had it happen to me in the basketball where Ant went out right away, and they allow the bet they just adjust the odds. Yeah. I'm not sure about hockey and how that works.
I'm not sure either. So, well, that's all I got for this week, brother.
That's all I got.
All right, Director Dave, you got any for us on the MotoGP?
They're off this week.
Oh, they're off this week.
We do have the Kentucky Derby going on this week.
Oh, yeah, I have not looked at anything.
I think it was the horse Renegade. I think is the odds-on favorite. I believe that's what it is. But I mean, again, I didn't really look a lot into the Derby. I mean, I used to love horse racing going into it, but I mean, I've gotten a little disenchanted with it, man, over kind of realizing how many of them suckers turn into glue.
Oh yeah, they turn into glue for sure.
Oh man, I mean, what was that
Renegade going off at 4-1.
Yeah.
Commandment 6-1. Further Ado 6-1, and Chief Wallaby. So you got 4 horses coming in at 8-1 or under.
Yeah, let's see what happened on my bet tonight, and if I throw any money on that shit. So,
I don't know. I like the Puma though. Ooh, that's a kick-ass name for a horse. The Puma.
The Puma, not Puma. The Puma.
The Puma.
Nice.
No, actually, I was reading today before we go real quick. So there's a brouhaha going on in horse racing about the betting that's happening off-site.
Really?
Yeah, and it's changing the odds of the stuff that's happening on the trackside.
Really?
And it's costing the casual gambler, like anybody that just wants to go down and have a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
It's costing them a lot of money.
Really?
Because, say you're down at the horse track and you like a horse that goes off at 9-1. Well, you've got all these off-site guys putting in 6-7 bets a second.
Right.
That's how that works.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time it posts and the race starts, it'll be down to 2-1. Well, you're never going to place money on a 2-1 horse because it's just not.
Right, yeah. Juice it.
That's no fun.
Yeah, it's not worth the squeeze.
I want the 9-1 horse.
Right.
And I want to bet on a 9-1 horse.
Right.
If I make that bet and it goes down to 2-1, yeah, I can understand how people would be upset about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
there might be changes coming in how horse racing bets.
Yeah, like I said, I used to love it. My grandfather used to take me to the racetrack and taught me how to like the basics of betting the ponies. But at the end of the day, it's not really something I get.
I was thinking about going down to Fairmount on Saturday, but then I found out it was a derby, and I hate crowds like that.
Yeah,
so I will be staying.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be in full degenerate mode too, man. That's gonna be in full degenerate.
I'll just wait till the next weekend.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comment section. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.